Just got back from a pretty sweet tank haul. We got a 55 gallon. I thought it was gonna be 100 gallon. It was listed as 100 gallon. And if you guys have bought tanks on Craigslist or Let Go before, this one was a deal off of Craigslist. You know that sometimes people just, they mislabel them. That was the case here, but no big deal. We still got it for a great deal. Came with a stand, some extras. We got a light, an LED light. It's an Aquatic, which is like a cheap LED. And then we also, one of my favorite things, what caught my eye about this was, we got some fish. Got some cool fish in this bucket. We'll get to that in a bit. But also, we scored big on some live plants, guys. That is a gigantic piece of Anubias. You guys have been following the channel for a while. This is the second big piece of Anubias like this I've gotten. I think last time someone said it's species Schmuck giganti. So we got another giganti Schmuck Anubias here. And I mean, it takes time to get a piece of Anubias this big, guys. We're gonna dig through the rest of the plants. There's some crypts, there's some other stuff in there, some driftwood. Really neat, cool find. We're gonna be able to put this to a use. But yeah, you can't find a piece of Anubias there. You can't find a piece of Anubias in a store like that usually. And if it is, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. So a big shout out to Ron. I gave him the channel. Maybe you're watching. If you're watching, Ron, thank you, appreciate it. He's an awesome guy. I actually kind of getting out of the fish keeping hobby, as are a lot of people when I meet them, and I buy a used tank from them. But he's actually a teacher, and he has a small fish tank at the classroom that's empty right now, and I'm trying to persuade him to keep some cherry shrimp. So just in case Ron's watching, comment down below how much you would have liked it if your teacher kept some cherry shrimp in a classroom when you were a kid. And then maybe, I told Ron I'd give him some for free. So maybe he sees this and he'll get some cherry shrimp from me, because he doesn't want to, he was teetering. He's interested, he's appreciative, but he's not sure he wants to set up that tank. But anyway, guys, let me get these fish out of this bucket and into a quarantine tank, and then we'll dig through the rest of the stuff, because we got some pretty neat stuff to go over. So let's jump into the fish, and I already got them split up because Rob is here, and he is going to be taking some home. I didn't tell him he was going to be on camera, but Rob's taking some of the fish home, so big shout out to Rob. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'll put it in the link in the description, but did a fish tour of Rob's place. He's got a bunch of rescue fish, and these he's going to add to his collection of rescue fish. There's a few tetras there, black skirt tetra, giant danio, and then also here, I think I'm going to hang on to these for now, see if we can't find some tank space. There are 2 serpe tetras, and then a albino rainbow shark, which I love the look of, but he may be problematic to find a tank space for. But we're going to get into some of the other stuff we got. I wanted to film these fish before they go home with Rob. So big thanks to Rob for taking care of some of the fish. And then we're going to jump into some more of the extras. Before we jump into these goodies, let's take a look at some of the other plants we got. I put that really big Anubias in the 125 already. I don't know if you can see the lights off in the tank. But this piece of Anubias, this is the one I got a few months ago, and it's a pretty big piece of Anubias. I split it into 2. This is the new piece right there. As you can see, it's like, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall or something. It's monstrous. He's hanging out back there just chilling. But let's look at the more plants we got, or the other plants we got, because we got some more. And they're on some really cool pieces of driftwood also. So here's another piece of Anubias. Actually, 2 pieces of Anubias on a really cool piece of driftwood. And like I said, guys, you can't find it in the store. If you do, it's really expensive. I try not to buy, as many things used as possible, or try not to buy stuff as new as possible. There's another really cool piece of driftwood. It looks like some Java fern on it. And then there's just Java fern by the buttload in here. It looks like miscellaneous suction cup thing. I don't even know what that is. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. It looks like this suctions to the side. Looks like it holds something. I don't even know. More Java fern. It's like a healthy amount of Java fern. But just a really cool plant grab. And for the price of the whole tank and everything, this was like, nothing. For the price I paid for the whole tank, you couldn't get these plants in the store. So it's just a great find. I think that's everything. But a good mix of some Java fern, some Anubias. Looks to be pretty healthy. A lot of times, Java fern for me doesn't do the best. So we'll see if it takes hold or it perishes. But let's jump into some of the other stuff here, because this is some of the cool stuff. And we got 2 lights. The gentleman hooked us up. This is a cheaper brand LED, but this is awesome. It's actually it's an Aquatic light. and it's a few friends of mine. I've known about them for a while. I don't have any. I have a Beansworks light on that tank, so that's another kind of a cheap brand LED. So I'm gonna kind of do a test maybe between the Aquatic and the Beansworks, and then whichever one wins, maybe we'll outfit the whole rack system with that. Because if you guys have been following me for a while, I definitely want to upgrade the whole rack system here. Just has a bunch of, you know, random lighting, fluorescent, cheap little LED. So I kind of want to standardize it, upgrade it, and I'm looking at some of these cheaper LEDs because Fluval Planted Plus or the Fluval line, they're known for some awesome lights, and there's some other great products out there, but too rich for my blood at this point with as many as I'm going to need. So we're going to look to do things on a budget. We also got this filter here. This is like a whisper filter, so just perfect for the tank. We got a few air pumps. There's a pump here. This stuff actually over here also came with the tank. It's like a brand new large air pump, and then some extra filter cartridges, which are just you know, good to have. I keep them, use them, or I give them away with the tank. There's some miscellaneous gravel, as well as a heater. I definitely always test out heaters. Buying used heaters or using a used heater is definitely risky. Heaters scare the crap out of me to begin with, and when I get a used one, it's rare that I use it. It's you know, they sketch me out. But in here is just some miscellaneous, looks like some SpongeBob decor. It's always cool to come across that stuff. See it quite often. Looks like we got a whole trifecta here. And then just some miscellaneous lids. The tank is gonna need a good scrub down. It's full of algae. And the stand is pretty cool. This stand, I've never really seen this stand. It's kind of like a grayish or a graphite black and kind of dotted color, whatever. But in talking to the gentleman, he said that he himself kind of DIY'd this. Went to the store, got some, I guess that's crown molding, put it on the top and the bottom, and then also in the inside, he added that shelf. So I thought it looks really cool, you know, much nicer than your average kind of stand that you might find. And it's pretty cool that he kind of got into it enough that at one point, it's probably a few years ago that he'd done this, obviously, that he, you know, kind of upgraded his tank and his stand. Let's get this stuff packed away. Definitely want to get these plants and find them a new home. I'm really excited. Drop a comment down below if you guys, like, what's your favorite thing to find? Probably plants. Finding plants to me is really kind of irreplaceable because that's something you can't really buy, or if you buy it, it's really, really expensive. Like to buy a piece of Anubias that big, you know, someone may ask probably like $100 or something, if you could even find one. So when I find plants like this, to me, that's like, you know, irreplaceable. 55-gallon tank and accessories and stuff, that's cool. I'm especially excited to play around with the Aquatic light. But in general, I think plants, in my opinion, are just one of the most exciting things to pick up on a used tank find. Just a few days ago, we scored another few tanks and a bunch of other accessories and lights, etc. So if you're not subscribed, do so now. If you want to check out our video that YouTube thinks you'll like, click there. I appreciate you guys watching, especially to the end. As always, stay positive, stay passionate. I hope you guys get a deal out there.